everyone, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I'm here to do a quick card share and a really fast and easy tutorial on how to make dimensional flowers. I made these two cards right here and here using the Heartfelt Creations Tropical Hibiscus stamp and die set that I picked up recently from Lisa's D-Stash. Lisa is Charlisa's Crafty Corner, and she gave me a great price on the set, and I thought they would be perfect for thank you cards for the couple whose home we stayed in during our vacation in Hawaii. It was really easy to make these really dimensional flowers, and I'm going to attach a video showing you the entire process. Then for assembling the rest of the card, I just used this Avery L dotted die set. It has the outside rectangle as well as some banners, and the die itself cuts out all these little holes all the way around that you can weave through some embroidery thread, which is what I did here. Super easy. This one takes a little bit more time just to do all the weaving in and out with a needle and thread. But I think it creates such a nice little accent, nice little texture, and gives it a little bit of a homemade or homespun look that I really liked. I'm going to first stamp out the 4 hibiscus flowers with this Adirondack Brights watermelon ink. And I'm using my Misty tool here just in case the impression is not good, because this is the first time I'm using this stamp. I'm going to give it a chance to get the ink to transfer over fully. And that actually stamped out pretty well, but I'm going to go over a little bit more in the centers just to make sure that all those beautiful details aren't lost. Wonderful. Now, before die cutting all of this out, I thought I would do some quick coloring with some distress ink. I'm using picked raspberry and squeezed lemonade and getting some on a finger dauber. I'm dabbing a little bit off first before taking the finger dauber over to each flower after inking up the finger dauber, because I don't want to lose those beautiful kind of veining details of each of the petals. So every time I put the finger dauber to the ink pad, I then dab once off in that corner, and then I blend out. And I'm not worried about going outside the lines or anything like that, because all of these flowers are going to be die cut out. It's kind of the easiest, fastest way of coloring that I know. Now next I'm going to take the squeezed lemonade and go from the outside of the petals in. And because this is a lighter color, I'm not worried about losing the details, so I'm not doing the kind of dabbing off that I did with the picked raspberry. I'm just going from the outside of the petals toward the center of the flowers so that it kind of blends in with the picked raspberry. And I found this color combination by just Googling hibiscus flowers online, and this was a beautiful combination that I thought I could try to replicate. I think I'm going to take some mustard seed and make the stamen a little bit darker. And there's a slight color variation, not a great deal, but I think that it is a little bit more accurate to make those stamen a little bit darker. Now I've brought my Big Shot over, and I have this one die that cuts all 4 of the flowers at once, and I'm just trying to position it so that the die is just around the image that I can see through the die, and that leaves a tiny margin all around each of the flowers in the stamen. And the die cuts through this paper beautifully. This paper, by the way, is a Georgia Pacific 110-pound cardstock, and I'll put a link in the description box below to where you can pick it up. Now for the dry embossing. Well, actually kind of moist embossing. How's that? So I'm going to take each flower from behind and just take some water and a spray mister. And I'm going to, I don't have a embossing tool that's big enough, so I'm going to use the back of a Jelly Roll pen and just kind of give each petal some dimension. And I think just wetting it a little bit like that with some water really helps a lot. I'm going to also go up the top stamen area. Flip it over and do that. And I'm going to do that with the medium one as well. And then once the water actually fully dries, it makes the flowers even sturdier or stronger. I don't know what it is about that water drying through the paper, but it makes the flowers really resilient and sturdy. Again, I'm going to flip the flower over on my mouse pad and get a good impression in the middle. And then, even though hibiscus are single layer flowers, I like the look of making them doubled up. But I didn't want to be totally unrealistic and have multiple stamens, so I cut off the stamen from the little flower, and now I'm just adding the two layers together, offsetting the petals. Now to add some shimmer and texture, I'm going to add some prills. Those are these little white balls, or actually they come in multiple colors. Anyway, you can get them from Heartfelt Creations, and they add great texture and are great for the pollen on stamen or the centers of flowers. And you just put a little glue down and then sprinkle the prills over top. And I'm catching the excess in a coffee filter so that I can reuse them, because prills are a little bit expensive. So you definitely want to save every last one. So I've stamped out the leaves with some green ink in my stash, and now I'm using Tim Holtz Distress ink in Mowed Lawn to quickly, again, color up the leaves. This ink blending coloring is super fast and easy. I don't want to overthink it or worry about staying in the lines, because all of these leaves are going to be die cut out. And you might be wondering, it's the same 3 leaves over and over, and won't that look repetitive or unnatural? But if you are using them with the flowers and you're tucking them in different directions, it looks totally natural, and it goes so perfectly with these tropical hibiscus flowers. So I've sprayed the back of these leaves a little bit, and I'm just going to go along the middle of the leaves of all 3. And then flip it over, and then look how beautiful that looks with that leaf. Then for this card, I just die cut the thanks word die out of some white cardstock that I had inked up pink. And then for this card, I just smooshed some of that picked raspberry ink onto cardstock and sprayed it with just plain water for a soft watercolory look. I hope you enjoyed the process video, and if you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching.